talking, right? And so this is it, but this is AU, okay? Now, one of the things that we talked about for our triangle, and I don't want to confuse you. There's two. The cool thing about the triangle is once you understand the triangle, it just opens up the world to you because ultimately, all you really need is a trend. Okay. Once you see a trend, you have the ability to begin to form a trap. Now, here's where many of you guys mess up. Okay. Where many of you guys mess up is that you'll see it come out of the triangle like this. And you're like, okay, I'm going to go. And then the market does something like this on you. Okay. The problem that we're having is not the triangle. The problem that we're having is that you're focused just on the triangle as far as the trend line, but you're missing the biggest piece, which is the strong area of supply or demand. It's that strong area of supply or demand that causes that triangle to be successful. Okay. And this is the part that you really have to focus in on. So your triangle defense success is dependent upon your ability to leverage strong areas of supply or demand. That's it. Now, those strong areas of supply and demand change from time frame to time frame. Every time frame has a strong area of supply or demand. So on this chart right here, these 15-minute chart, um, uh, this chart right here, what we have, we'll group this, hide this for a second. There's a strong area over here. There's a strong area over here, right? Right in here, right in here, right? On this time frame, there's going to be strong areas, right, of supply or demand on this time frame. I know a lot of you guys talk about your time frames and where you want to, how you want to trade and everything. That's really dependent on you. I don't care. Someone asked me, you know, ORS seems to be a scalping strategy. Like, can I use it? I don't like the scalps. Like, yeah, if you want, it's your life. It doesn't, it's no, there's nothing preventing you from leveraging it, as a day trader or a swing trader, right? You don't see me do it just because one, that's not very for class, right? It doesn't really translate very well. Like, oh, okay, this trade, we have a new trade today, right? And what I mean is, a lot of those higher time frame trades take a long time to set up. So I can't like teach on those day to day, right? I have to let those play out for a while, right? Those types of trades. It just that's just how the market is, right? If I was taking trades off of this, for instance, let's go right here. Okay. If we would have been over here, this is September 2024, we would have seen, as we started this series out earlier, we talked about the call. You have the impulse, you have the correction. When you see this, right? First step, respect of the horizontal structure. You want to see that the market is respecting your horizontal structure. Okay. Respecting your horizontal structure. After that, we want to see that it's disrespecting things. Okay. What's the key to the disrespect? Well, The key to the disrespect is that its behavior now is changing. Prior to 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 uh to this moment, it's just been moving like this. But all of a sudden, we reach an area where it's no longer honoring this trend. Starts to become disrespectful. What is it doing? It's letting us know it's breaking out of his boundaries, right? Breaking out his boundaries. You all seen the movies, right? You might even been the movie, right? That moment in time, you might have been that person. It wasn't me, but I saw it on. I had friends. I watched it on movies, and you have that moment where, oh, you think you could do just whatever you want to do? Ah, okay. Now that you can't respect my boundaries, you don't have to go somewhere else, right? You don't have to leave. That's what this is, right? I don't know if you were that person that couldn't have the boundaries. You couldn't respect the boundaries, and you got that first class ticket. Some of you didn't even get a first class ticket. You got man, some parents, bro, I have seen them. Okay, okay, see how you do outside. See how you do outside. That's what this is, right? That's what this is. No longer becoming respectful to the boundaries. Now that they've broken out, it's signs that, oh, you can't live here anymore. You got to go somewhere else. And that's what's happening right here. They got to go somewhere else because they're no longer in the boundaries. And so it's this combination of, first, you're respecting this, but then you begin to disrespect this. This is what creates our triangle. It's this piece here. Because as I said earlier in this series, the market can't go this way. So now it completes the thing. It can't go this way. It can't go to the left. It runs into a wall that it doesn't want to break through. And so its only choice is to come up out of this and start to disrespect that. And it's this visual that you want to train your eyes to see, is this type of scenario here where the market begins to you just see it. You don't got to draw it all the time. I don't have the whole triangle drawn all the time, but this is what I'm imagining in my head. I can see this. I hit my level. I'm starting to disrespect it. Okay. Now you gotta go somewhere. It's gonna go somewhere. Not as disrespectful. It's gonna go somewhere. Where's that somewhere? It could be the next level. It could be any structure in here level that is in the way, but it's gonna go somewhere now that it broke out. Okay. That's how this works. Okay. That's how this works. This is more of a technical question, maybe for further in the section you're teaching on. My question is, my main time frame is 1 minute, but my T2 is 30 second. Okay. Should I drop down to 30 second even though it crosses on the 1 minute? Should I drop down? But the 30 second is good as long as I put my trend lines up first. So Kyle, you probably, if you have a chart that you want to drop in the thing, I could look at it that way because I gotta see the scenario, see the structure. You actually did a pretty good job of trying to paint it for me, but for me to really make sure I'm answering your question, if you have a chart, drop that chart in there, and I'll try to hit it. Now, you guys might see that he dropped this language in here. We haven't got into the T2s yet, or T3s. That's a part of the system. We haven't worked on that yet, but we will, right? We will in this boot camp dial it in. It's more of an advanced approach, and it really requires our understanding of what we're talking about now, which is the impetus level. Okay. So this diagonal structure here, we want to disrespect that diagonal structure. So we want to respect horizontal structure. We want to disrespect diagonal structure. So you got to be able to draw your trend lines. And then the final thing that tells me that they really are going in a new direction is that they disrespect a horizontal structure. But what is this horizontal structure? Well, this horizontal structure is what we call the impetus level. the impetus level. Now, impetus, why did I call it the impetus level? Okay. Why did I call it the impetus level? Well, what an impetus is, okay, an impetus essentially is the force that makes something happen or happen more quickly. Okay. It's the force that makes something happen or happen more quickly. So for me, what makes the market change direction? It is the break of the impetus level. This is what's happening. So that's where my name came from, right? Just trying to be creative. This is this movement right here is the impetus for a new directional change in the market. And so it's this diagonal structure here, or horizontal structure that we call the impetus that we are looking for. Now, what is the impetus exactly? We'll come back over here. What the impetus is every trend has a structure where you see higher highs and higher lows. Okay. Now, what is the impetus inside of a uptrend? Well, the impetus is going to be the higher low that created the highest high. Okay. It's the higher low that created the highest high. And so what we have here is we have three lows here. One low, two low, three lows. Out of these three lows, which one is the higher low? So one, it can't be this because this is the low. This is the higher low, and this is a higher low. Okay. Now this higher low led to this. This is a higher high, but it's not the highest high. So this can't be the impetus by default because it didn't lead to the highest high. So this is the highest low that led to the highest high. It's right here. So this is our impetus level. And so we know that the market is continuing in an uptrend as long as it's staying above that impetus level. But if it decides to break, it is now chosen to change directions. And it's changing directions either temporarily or long term, and it's going to keep on going, right? All depends on what type of triangle you have trapped, okay? But this is that turning point. This is that turning point. This is the highest low that has created the highest high. Now, for a downtrend, it's the same thing. Market's making lower lows and lower highs, right? Well, what do we have here? We have a high, a high, a high. So this is a high, but guess what this is? It's a lower high. And this is another lower high. In the current world, this is the lowest high. Okay. Right here, we have a low. Right here, we have a lower low. And right here, we have the lowest low. Okay. The lowest low. So what is the impetus level in a downtrend? The impetus level in a downtrend is the lowest high that created the lowest low. Okay. Now, I know I'm emphasizing, I want you guys to hear this. I'm emphasizing lowest low and I'm emphasizing lowest high. And I know we're used to seeing just that as lower high, lower low. But in your notes somewhere, make sure it's the emphasis on, excuse me, lowest high that created the lowest low. Okay. Because now you bring this out, you make a distinction between just the lower high, any other lower high. Okay. So lower high that created the lowest low or higher low that created the highest. Very long way. A very long way. A very long way. Hmm. This is tricky. So let's go back to your question. This is more of a technical question in the section routine. My question is main time frame is 1 minute, but my T2 is 30 seconds. Should I drop to 30 second even though it crosses on the 1 minute? But the 30 second is good as long as I put my trend lines up first. So the answer is it depends, right? So if you're going to trade this triangle right here, then sure, go down to your 30 second because that's your T2. And you're making decisions off of that. But if you're going off the big boy, you're gonna need to go. I will tell you ultimately, by the way that this looks, that your main time frame, which is your big boy, even though it's 1 minute right now, it's the lowest time frame. One of the issues that I see here is the angle of this trend line, especially right now, the separation between the trend line and the moving average. So what's probably going to happen if you play with it and go up a couple time frames, you'll probably see that that moving average will get closer to your trend line, especially the last part, and that's probably going to be your true triangle time frame, right? But right now it's just looking like this because it's like the way the structure is. But also remember, if you take any trades out of the T2 time frame, you must have very strong uh divergence, very strong. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to that. But yep, you can do whatever you want. Just know that um, this is still your main time frame, and most likely what's going to happen is you're going to lose the pillars. It's going to do something like that and then still go up, most likely. And so also don't forget, where's your strong level? Okay. So that's one of the things right here. All right. Horizontal structure. Respect horizontal structure. Disrespect diagonal. Let me see. Good job, y'all. Good job. Thank you for participating. Thank you for participating. This right here is what you want to have in your mind. So when we look at price zone at its core, this is what we're looking to accomplish at all times. It just depends on what you what do you want to do, right? So let's get all this stuff off real quick. Oh yeah, I can't do that. I knew that. I'm I'm in the admin account, so I can't be deleting deleted stuff. All right. So, and just in case, let's come off of it and come right back. Here we go. Now, you guys see this over here. This is the same scenario, but except it's this is what we call, we talked about those two types of triangles. This is more of the corrective triangle. And you can see right here, here's our triangle, right? And so same principle. We want to respect the horizontal structure. We want to disrespect the diagonal structure. And now we want to disrespect the horizontal structure. Okay, the horizontal structure. And this is what we're looking for. That's our chance to say, okay, we're probably moving on. And that's exactly what we did. Okay. So this is the heart of what it is that you need. And notice that for now, we haven't even talked about the indicators. Okay. The indicators are helpful because they help to give us an objective way to accomplish this at all times. However, ultimately, the objective is to accomplish this, right? And so it's the goal is that we're really just doing this. The indicator is helping us facilitate this, okay? And I want to make a special emphasis on this that you can hit this however you want. Remember what I'm saying when ORS is not about, oh, I got to use these 20, 50 crosses. I have to use the strength indicator or the momentum. It's not as much of a mandate to use these certain tools as much as it is these tools are pointing us to larger and greater principles that if I want to have success, I need to honor those principles. And then this is taking trades off of strong levels. This is paying attention to structure, both diagonal and horizontal, and waiting for that shift. Okay. And so again, however you have to see it in your mind and to get there, just let's just get there, right? You guys see me do this all the time, all the time. I'll be here and I'll be here. I'll be here and I'll be here, right? I go back and forth because this is just helping me stay objective. Well, what do I mean? Well, up in here, sorry for the sniffles, y'all. I definitely looks like I caught a little something in my travels. Okay. This right here, when I do this, what did I do? I just put myself on the correct time frame. Okay. There's an advantage to doing this. Okay. So now I know the right time frame structure or candle that I need is 3 hours. 3 hour candle to close below this impetus level. Okay. What it all what it also does, we haven't got into the T2, right? But that's coming. What it also does is now it puts me in this position. And now I'm able to organize this like this, and I can see just like this, that this is my new my T2, which now allows me to, and I know if especially if this makes a higher high, that I'm going to then have this will be my low that made the highest high. It's the higher low that made the highest high. I don't have it yet. Right now it's here, right? And you can see the tool is sitting right here. But it's going to be here as soon as we can make this highest high. Okay. So now we're shifting and you can see the tool shifted too, right? Tool shifted right there. That's it. Right. So that's our impetus level of what we call the T2. So it's going to be the same principle. I need to respect this, disrespect my diagonal, and then disrespect the impetus level right there. Okay. There's our there's our entry. Okay, right into here. Right, just like that. Okay, so it's this respect, disrespect, disrespecting. This is what we're focused on. Okay, just like that. How do we know when to go? Well, we follow the principles, respect, disrespect, and disrespect. Now, we're sitting right here at the impetus. So, yeah, we're going to break it or we're going to continue down. I don't know. Now we're gonna see. We just landed at this is the area. This is the highest low that made the highest high, right? It's sitting right in here. So we're now right at that level. This was an excellent trade. I just This was easy, breezy, beautiful. I just I fumbled the ball on this one. Just had this chart up and wasn't paying attention to it. Okay. So we're gonna stop here. Stop here. This is an introduction so that you guys could we want to get acquainted with it. I want to emphasize this respect, disrespect, and now introducing you to the impetus level, which is the final disrespect. Okay. And so what you want to be looking at is that um oh man, you guys aren't on the stream. Um and go from there. My stream is running, so I don't know why you guys are disrespected. But it's okay. I mean, why you guys can't see the stream, but my stream's still running right here. But with that being said, man, I appreciate you guys for being here. We're